back deal that's just limited him so much that we got to take time, and then two, he's missed enough that you just got to look at long term. You know, if you do too much too early, you can. So it's almost like we're just trying to get him back to where he can be consistent, because he got nagged up. Really, he missed all the spring ball, and he got nagged up midwinter with a back injury that just. We've had a couple procedures been done, and it's looking good, but it just isn't right yet. And it's one of those things, I think if we rush it, it wouldn't be good for him. And I think because he has a redshirt year, we just think it's best to take time and he get it, you know, his strength level back, his skill set where he's fully clear. He's got to get cleared. But it's also a little bit of a confidence deal too, psychological deal. There's a lot of those things going on, and that's one of the reasons why we do play. I mean, you look at it, we've played some freshmen, and a year or two later, you know, they got injured. I mean, if Nate's injury would have been early enough, it would have been a redshirt year. It was unfortunately game 6. You don't want those things to happen, but that is a part of our game. And if Donovan can't go, it'll just be a redshirt year. He's got 4 years left with 3, and like I say, short term, we might not get an immediate short-term return, but we still know there's a kid that played as a true freshman. There's a good football player, and we just got to get him back right. That's kind of been our philosophy and strategy with him.
Coach, you talked about Ralston Evans. Was a real warrior for you when he was healthy. He's taking a medical now. He'll be a student assistant coach for you. Who are you looking there as a possibility? Timmy Gardner, other guys that need to step up for that spot?
Well, and again, Ralston has missed enough with some of those injuries. Again, his knee injury, and it happened. He was our first recruit. Visited the Southern Illinois Edwardsville December game right after I was hired. That's when he showed up, and came mid-year. And actually, as a true freshman, almost got to where we're going to play him as a true freshman. He had a lifting injury. Basically, his knee, he totally got everything, ACL, PCL, MCLs. He got every ligament, and a lot of people wouldn't have played with it. And he plays a position that there's a lot of wear and tear, because you're in a position of leverage and bending where there's a lot of strain. And it took him a year to get back where he could have been medical. He could have been medical right then, but he wanted to play. He's hands down one of the best I've ever been around, just caring and loving and wanting to do things right and being a positive influence. So we went through the spring because basically his leg's been wearing out. And we had him only do the lifting and running, and he did he almost did minimal, no practice, trying to see if we could get him to participate. And we didn't decide, and it was his decision. And if he wasn't ready to decide, I wasn't going to have him decide. But he decided a week ago. What that does now, he can be a student coach, still be at practice. We're going to keep his locker in the locker room. He's basically going to be Ralston and do everything he do, except he can't put on a pad and hit. He's going to be in every meeting, be at every practice. I think he wants to get into, I don't think he's going to be a coach. I think he wants to get into administration or something in the athletic world. He's one of the neatest kids I've ever been around, and we want him to have a huge impact on our team. So one, he's going to keep having a huge impact on our team. The role might be a little bit different, but he's going to be a senior, and he might not can put a helmet on and hit you, but he's going to do a lot for us. As far as that position, again, last year Dimitri Camille finished out there. Timmy Gardner's a transfer that we can get in there. Brandon Knights looks very good as a true freshman. Very, very athletic. I'm intrigued by him. Coach Fry's pretty good. We won't have revolving doors, but I think that group will be good, and we kind of have overcome that. What you saw in spring was without him. I think we're going to be very good in the line, and it was not counting on him. It's just I'm counting on him being positive and helping us, because he is unbelievable in that role.
Coach, you guys announced today that Dom Neal has been cleared. The other two guys are kind of uncertain. Camion Patrick and Will Dawkins. Is there any updates on them?
Yeah, well, now Will had a deal where he had to have a semester of academic. It was just what. So I mean, he's back. He's been through the whole summer. His grades are outstanding, so he's good to go. It just was an NCAA deal, and Camion appears to be in the same place. Now again, it's I guess he's going to be on our team, and I think based on what he does in his transition here, he could be much like Will be told he couldn't play, or maybe he could. It happened at Darius Rainer's here right now. His first semester, Darius was not allowed to play, and has been a great student for us and has done well. So with Camion, until we complete a course right now, he's here, he's with us, and he's going to be playing, and we just don't have 100% clearance if it's Saturday playing. Plus, he'll have to earn that anyway. But if he does, he looks like he'll be one of those guys very much in the mix.
So he's enrolled, but you're not sure he'd be able to.
Yeah, he's been here all summer, and he's just waiting for. There's some academic things he has to do to get blessings across the board to be cleared to be eligible for participation. He's going to be on the team. He's not going to be anywhere else. He's looked awesome. He's been unbelievable, and off the field, everything he's doing. So he's fitting in. He's ready to roll. But it could be like Darius Rayner, first year was in school, was not allowed to play. Last year, Dawkins was not allowed to practice. So we're waiting. It's basically based on how he does in academically. He says yes or no, and we're waiting as he wraps up the course year.
Does he have a redshirt year still left, or is that gone?
He has 3 years. So he's 3 for 3. So if he lost it, he would just be then 2 for 2. So, but again, he's full throttle here, and we'll know here soon.
Coach, you lost a huge chunk of your ground game last year, going back to pass first, run second.
No, again, if you go back and just really look and watch, 2 years ago, it's 300 passing, 200 running, and it's one of the best offenses in the league. And last year, if you pull up those stats and say, hey, Big Ten teams versus non-conference, it was 558 yards a game. And that's first versus non-conference opponents. But when Nate gets hurt, it goes down to 330. So that running game's still there. And Tevin Coleman wasn't a 2,000-yard rusher the year before. Matter of fact, we hadn't cracked a 1,000-yard rusher in 17 days. We still hadn't had 1,000 yards. We went from no 1,000 to 2,000, right? We just jumped right by that. But the consistency is that line, and they're back 4 of them, and there's depth there. We lose Ross, there's still depth there, and the tight end group's the best it's been as a group. And so to me, we're going to be pretty good on offense because I think we're very mature and deep up front at tight end. I think we're very mature at quarterback. We have some experience and some talent at quarterback. And those young skill kids need to play up their talent. And I think you look at the other side of the ball, you're looking at the same dynamic. A really solid, deep defensive line, some linebackers that really can complement that. You've got some talent in the secondary, but it's young, experienced, and those are the guys that are going to need to step up. But again, this is a line of scrimmage league. It's a line of scrimmage game, and that is the strength of this football program. That's why I think we have a lot of confidence that we can be a solid team.
All right, thanks, guys. Okay, thanks, guys.